Welcome back, Joe and Mike, buildassetsonline.com. What an exciting episode we have for you today. This has kind of been an episode that, I feel like because we're boomers, we should have probably covered this a year ago. But, now me and Mike are finally exploring it. We're seeing what's going on in this world of NFTs. And we're going to use our experience. I don't want to say expertise, but we're going to use our experience in this world of making money online to give you insights into what's the best thing to do to make money fast online, to build wealth as fast as possible online. Is it dropshipping the way we teach it, high ticket dropshipping, or is it flipping digital artwork and other digital assets on the blockchain? What is it, Mike? What's your opening statement?
You know what I say, Joe? If you're not a Zoomer, you're a boomer. And while we've been doing things the traditional way of, tangible goods online. Maybe there's a new way. Maybe we don't know what we're talking about. So I know we got a lot of young people that listen to us, some older people, older than us. So I think this is going to be a bit controversial, whichever way you slice it. And so maybe off the gate, we should kind of explain when we say NFTs, what we're talking about, because our audience may not know. And I mean, up until like 3 days ago, I really didn't know. And, we prolonged talking about this for a while just because I didn't understand what the hell it was.
Well, I feel like you knew, but you didn't know. Like you knew what it was, but I feel like you couldn't really explain it. You didn't have firsthand experience with it. So I feel like I knew less than you last week, but this week I feel like now we both see what's going on.
Now I kind of get it. So we're prepared to make this video. But yeah, maybe some Zoomer is going to come in here and say, you guys don't know what you're talking about. I flipped an ape for a thing and I made $1 million. Well, that's good, but we'll compare it to what we do and we'll see what's going on.
So Mike, let's get to the hardest part of the stream for us because we're boomers. What is an NFT? How are we going to explain this to our viewers who might not know what it is?
So an NFT stands for non-fungible token. And so basically all you need to know is if you've ever been on Twitter or, just seen people with like these little 8-bit drawings, basically what it is someone will make a piece of art essentially, and then you can mint that art on the blockchain. So it's like it's verifiable that you own this piece of art, right? And what people have been doing is creating communities around, their avatars, their artwork, and like I said, doing things to drive the value up. And people have been making plays, buying these NFTs, watching them grow, flipping them, etc. And so there's like the avatar part of NFTs where, for example, like CryptoPunks, where it's just, again, a community and everyone has their avatar and that's the art. Or you have things like artists will do where they'll drop, say, like an exclusive piece of artwork for people will bid on it. And then that's, an NFT as well. And so there's a lot of ways that this plays out. And again, I'm by no means an expert, but this is kind of what we'll be talking about. But it's what do you got to say about this, Joe? Did I cover it well enough?
Yes, and I've heard the explanation many times for what an NFT was. Well, not really, but I heard it before I knew what it was, but I didn't understand what it was until I started to join like the Discords of people that were doing NFTs. Like I joined the Apes of Space Discord. And in summary, what it is, it's a bunch of people who own these digital art. They own individual pieces of digital artwork. So the way that this Apes one started, a lot of them are like this. Someone created a piece of code that randomly created 10,000 pictures of apes, and these apes all have different attributes. Like some of them have a hat, some of them have like a cigar or like a different suit, and the suits have different attributes. So different apes are more are more rare than others. Like the ape with like the psychedelic hoodie and the black hat, it, might have like a 2% chance of existence. And then so all these 10,000 apes are different, and you can own specific apes, and people trade these apes on the blockchain. The best way on the blockchain with Ethereum, the best way to understand it, I feel, is to first join some of these discords. That's the best way I can explain it. So you could just Google like apes of space, CryptoPunks, like what some of the other ones, like Bored Ape Yacht Club. You can go to OpenSea, OpenSea.io, and kind of see what's for sale and how much Ethereum it costs and stuff like that. But so part of it is owning these digital things. Part of it is these digital things grant you like a pass to, there's like perks to owning them. Like if you own an ape of space, you probably get access to different parts of the Discord. And then so if the ape of space community comes out with like another piece of art, or then you get access to that, or they come out with like exclusive merch. So it kind of builds on itself. Like, so you own an ape of space, and then they come out with like a dog and if you can only get it if you own it. And now the dogs are exclusive, and then they drop shirts, and the shirts are exclusive. And eventually it's going to transition to like, you can be your ape in like a virtual world. So these assets span across many different mediums online. So it's really like the first instance of digital ownership that we've seen. And that's it's probably a terrible explanation. Digital property. Yes. So that's about it. And so long story short, some of this digital property gets flipped for a lot of money. So if you go to OpenSea.io and you type in, I don't know if CryptoPunk is on. So if you type in CryptoPunk, I'm looking at some of this stuff that's sold. So like, I'm actually gonna attach a screenshot here. I don't know about what this specific thing is. So this is W3853 wrapped CryptoPunks. I don't know if this is like the original one, but apparently this one sold recently for 15 Ethereum. I don't know if I'm reading that. Like, how much is 15 Ethereum, Mike?
Somewhere between $60 and $75 right now.
15. So 15.
Right now, Ethereum is trading at like maybe 4,600.
Right. So 15 Ethereum is how much? Is how much?
So 4,600 times 15.
Yeah.
So 4,000 times 15 would be like 60,000, and then
so 70,000 is this 69,000.
Yeah.
If you can see some of these little digital pieces of artwork to claim ownership. Some of these things sell for tens of thousands, if not millions. You can kind of see that on OpenSea.io. Now, with those kind of, so people, some people have bought this kind of stuff at extremely low prices. Yeah, and this is not an NFT, but like some people have bought like the guy who made $1 billion off of the Shiba Inu coin. Some people buy pieces of NFTs for dirt cheap and then sell them for $1 million, if not more.
Yeah, usually if you get in on an NFT, like when they originally start, it's usually probably under 0.1 Ethereum to buy it. So there's a couple $100. And yeah, I mean, one of your friends, Joe, that we kind of were doing an FBA business with at one point, after we stopped doing that, we didn't hear from him for a while, and then he's older than you, so he's super boomer. We're like, what's up, man? What you been into? He's like, oh man, I've been flipping these NFTs. He's telling us how he's making $30,000 here, X amount of dollars here. He's got a lot of them, but yeah, I guess what we're going to have to talk about is how it just compares to doing things the traditional way, Joe. Buying and selling real products.
Well, I want to establish my take on it after learning a bit more about this, and I feel like I can truly give a better perspective on how it compares to online business. So, when you're getting into flipping NFTs, say it depends who you are. So, our friend that you're talking about, he gets paid very well. He has a very, very high paying job. Money is not a problem for him. He can take many, 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 this term is thrown around in the crypto community a lot. He can take many, many asymmetrical bets and be totally fine. He can,
Right.
spend probably tens of thousands on NFTs. Some might go to zero, some might return 100x, but in the end, that's going to be worth it for him because he has the money to do that.
Right.
And so,
So I think the place from which we're going to discuss this is like, okay, you're living in your mom's basement. How do you get out of your mom's basement? Right. Do you throw your allowance in on the next CryptoPunk, or do you start a dropshipping store? Right. If you're already making a lot of money, that's kind of a separate discussion.
right. And I want to talk about it from the perspective of having what's your personal and business balance sheet, and what's your personal and business cash flow,
We're getting
because
so corporate.
the the way you need to think about this is that there is a lot of money to be made with NFTs and crypto and all that. But the way you make a lot of that money, I think, is by having a strong cash flow and being in a good position to take on some of these bets that may, lose drastically. The same with crypto coins. Not to mention that in any sort of business, this is stuff I'm learning new lately, Mike. It makes sense to have the cash flow part of the business and then the balance sheet part of the business. So, what's your business bringing in? And then what are you doing with those dollars, that currency that your business is trading in? Are you holding it in dollars? Are you using it as operating expenses? Are you putting it back into the business to do something else to get more cash flow? Or are you putting it into different assets, whether that be mutual funds, individual stocks, crypto coins, NFTs? Because all of these are things that, at the end of the day, perform a higher function than a US dollar because they're going to hold well, when I say a higher function, they can lose all their value, but they can also go up a lot in value. So if you play your cards right, you want to have your assets growing, so you can sell them later or to provide you cash flow in the future. So you don't want to just hold a bunch of dollars for 30 years, for 10 years, because that's going to be just pointless because inflation's going to wipe that out, as we all know.
Yeah, and that's really, I think, a lot of the reason why we're having this discussion. Like, if we tried to talk about this maybe 3 years ago, I don't think I would have been able to wrap my brain around um, taking all the money you're making and putting it into something else. Because for me, I was just trying to like get the money in my bank account up. I couldn't understand why I would take this money in my bank account and put it into something that may in fact go down, whether it is stocks or even Bitcoin, whatever. Um, all those things, they do have the capacity to crash. And so in my mind, holding dollars was like the safest bet to ensure I can get where I wanted to go in like the next 5 years. But now we're really in a time where the rate at which they're printing money, the way inflation is going up, having dollars is like, I mean, people have used this analogy, but it's literally melting ice cream. You have this ice cream cone. Your dollars are the ice cream. It's just pouring down all onto you, and so you need a better solution than to have your money in these U.S. dollars. And I think right now, yeah, like things like index funds, Bitcoin, even in real estate, are just better places to park your money after you have enough set aside in dollars for like emergency purposes.
Well, the truth is, it's always. I mean, in our lifetime. Oh my God, our viewers are dropping off so fast.
Oh my God.
Is the stream broken?
I don't know.
No. So the truth is, at least in our lifetime, I think it's always been like that. So ever since the index fund instrument was created, I think in the 70s, it's probably been a better store of value than, it's outperformed gold, it's outperformed US dollars. So there's always been historically, probably as far back as you can think, there's always been a better store of value than your country's currency, because no currency has survived, for has survived the test of time. That's for sure. But things like land has, things like, well, some real estate has, some real estate hasn't. But all that type of thing, if you own it, would you rather own a house for 100 years? That's obviously, it has to be a stable house. Or would you rather own the cost of the house in dollars 100 years ago? So I don't. I feel like we're going in kind of a loop here. But
well, the point I'm getting at is that I think a lot of people now are seeing, again, we had COVID. They're printing a lot of money. I think it's now even more visible, like how quickly things are going up in cost. So, yeah, what do you do with your money, right? And so,
yeah, it's crazy. Just our houses. Like, I own a rental property and I own my regular house. It's crazy. Like their price. Like in the past 5 years since I bought my rental property, it went up like $100,000. Like something crazy. Yeah. That's unprecedented. Like it's like a 75% increase. And so if that's not, I mean, obviously there's market demands and stuff like that, but if that's not a sign of inflation, I don't know what is. That's the cost of living right there.
Yeah, exactly. And so if your money is in dollars, the dollars are becoming worth less. Meanwhile, if you were the one with the house is now, it's an increase in value. Your wealth went up. The person holding the dollars, their wealth went down. So, Joe, what do we think about dropshipping?
I think dropshipping is a means of, like I said, it's the cash flow side of the business. You need a strong cash flow side of any personal finance or business finance situation to bring in the currency to buy the assets. And dropshipping allows you to do that. And if you own a dropshipping store, say for 3 to 5 years, the dropshipping store is going to not really be impacted by inflation that much, because the store itself is an asset. The products you're selling fluctuate in price based on inflation. So, and it's an asset that brings in cash flow. If you own Bitcoin and the Bitcoin goes up 10x in a year, you don't really want to sell. You sell all that Bitcoin, you lose your asset. There's no more cash flow, and plus you pay taxes on that sale. So it's not really advisable to sell an investment like that. What you want to do is you want to get strong cash flow coming in. That's what a dropshipping store can bring you, not the way that you're going to see dropshipping presented on YouTube, the low ticket dropship. I equate the low ticket AliExpress, Facebook ad dropshipping stuff. I equate that with NFTs and with crypto, like with these crypto bets in general. Like they're exactly the same thing.
Yeah, you could have you could have put $1,000 on some shitcoin a year ago, and then it blows up, and then you make a lot of money. Well, that's great. You may have made a couple $100,000, but for the majority of people, that's not what's going to happen, because there are so many things outside of your control, like timing, like the bet you make. Like, for example, did you put it into this coin or did you put it into that coin? So there's so many things outside of your control. And with low ticket, it's kind of the same thing. Like, you really have to just hit the nail on the head, hit a bullseye with your ads, with all that stupid stuff. But with high ticket dropshipping, you really control your destiny 100%. You control what suppliers you call. You control if you're able to get in with them or not. You control your ads account. You control the products that you're selling. You control your customers. And so at the end of the day, everything is on you. And it's the best way for taking just a low amount of dollars and creating a lot of cash flow out of that. And then at the end of the day, once you have that cash flow, you can start looking into storing it in, if you want to put a percentage of it in NFTs, if you want to put a percentage of it in crypto, in real estate, etc. That's what you do. But you can't really compare the, an NFT to dropshipping for making money, because an NFT, it's a bet. All these ones that have gone up, all these NFTs that have gone up significantly, like Bored Ape Yacht Club and CryptoPunk, etc. It's really uncharted territory. No one was going to know what was going to happen with that. Dropshipping, what's going to happen month over month.
I just want to comment, Mike. The viewers have like dropped off and then like come back up, and now we're at 16 live viewers. Obviously not that many, but the chat has dissolved into like some weird crypto chat that I see when I join like a crypto related live stream. So I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know what our boy is. Joel D and JJ the same person? I think it is. He's changing his name mid chat. It doesn't. I don't know. We started talking about crypto stuff.
Maybe this was a mistake.
Yeah, let's just end it here.
No, but yeah, this obviously none of this is investment advice. That's the typical disclaimer you see on these kind of things. But I think, yeah, if you want to control the difference between placing a bet, like, so when you're creating cash flow, what you put in, the work you put in, is directly correlated with what you get out. And I think that's the key insight here, is that if you put a lot of effort and a lot of time, whether it's your time or time that you've outsourced, into a dropshipping store, and you don't do things that are, totally wrong or totally messed up, there's a very, very strong chance you're going to see a high return, high monthly profit, a big exit, that's directly correlated to the time and the work you put in. When you're doing investing, especially high risk investing like NFTs or like crypto, it's not quite like that. It's the opposite, but it can go either way. You can put in a little bit of work and see a huge return, or you can put in a ton of work, a ton of research, a ton of time, and see literally abysmal negative go to zero. So that's why, right, again, you have to think of your cash flow and your balance sheet, and your balance sheet has to be strong and well balanced. I think if you want to be wealthy in the long term.
Right. It's all about producing a predictable outcome, and an outcome that increases in magnitude and rate of success over time. And you simply can't get that by throwing money into a bunch of NFTs. With dropshipping, all it really takes is a year or two, to be honest, to where you understand how to create six-figure stores repeatedly. Yeah. So the margins are predictable, the ad spend is predictable, and so yeah, you have stable income coming in every day, and that's what you need in order to create enough wealth so that you can reinvest in some of these stupid coins that may 100x in value, but if they don't, what are you going to do? You're still stuck in your mom's basement.
Yeah, and when you pull up a graph, like when you pull up your Shopify store and you look at your sales for the day, or you pull up, I pull up my Mediavine account and I look at, which is growing rapidly, I look at all the ad revenue generated yesterday. I look at that and I think, okay, how many NFTs is that? How many Bitcoin is that? How many Ethereum is that? How much of a fraction of a property is that? And the beautiful thing is that most likely, knock on wood, is going to be coming again tomorrow. Whereas when I look at the price of Bitcoin every day, I'm going to be on this emotional roller coaster of ups and downs, because it's going to be down one day and up another. So, yeah, I think...
Yeah, if your money is in these things, you shouldn't need to take the money out of them. you need a separate place for your money to be generated. And so for us, like we've been saying, dropshipping is the best way because it's an asset too. And it's an asset that is actually increasing over time. The valuations that we get on our dropshipping stores now versus even 3 or 4 years ago is actually pretty significant. Like on a dropshipping store in 2018, you're not going to get over 30x monthly profit when you try and sell your store. But now, just through the nature of the internet, just through the industry growing itself, I would say 30x would be kind of minimum that you would get on a dropshipping store.
Yeah. And so, you turned me on to this guy, Michael Saylor, who's really obviously into investing in Bitcoin. He owns a company called MicroStrategies, and he's solidified a lot of these ideas for me about the balance sheet and about the cash flow. I mean, I kind of understood them, but I didn't really understand them in a way that I can explain it. And what's pretty cool about the company that he's a part of, MicroStrategy, is that they actually own online assets. I don't even know what kind of online assets they own. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to figure it out now, but I know they used to own alarm.com, right? And they own all sort of a bunch of these like huge or like one word domain names. And so they actually, at a much bigger scale, this publicly traded company does the same thing that we're saying, but we don't do it in a big corporate building, dressed up in the green bean suits. We just do it from our house.
I think slowly we're evolving towards that general direction.
Yeah, I feel like every day now is a meeting, and there's corporate jargon being thrown around, and it's slowly becoming a nightmare. So.
Yeah. The bigger you start to build something, the more it just slowly creeps towards corporate madness, right? Because you hire employees, and then you have a bunch of employees, and now you got to manage the employees. So now you got to meet with the employees or meet with the manager who meets with the employees, and so it all just slowly creeps towards a corporate asymptote.
And we were talking about this before the call, Mike, and we said we were going to talk about it after. But, our accountant right now is really busy. I think this is really hitting everyone, the whole COVID situation. He's dealing with the PPP loans, and just all this stuff that happened in 2020 that trickles down and affects so many businesses in 2021. Our accountant right now is, more busy than usual. And kind of swamped, and there's things that we want to do that we need his counsel on. So what we were discussing was, I feel like in 2021, after all this stuff, in 2022, after when all this stuff kind of dies down, I feel like we need to have regularly scheduled meetings, quarterly meetings, and these are the kind of corporate activities that we're talking about. But there's really only the whole point of these meetings, that why corporate entities meet so much, is because when there's so many moving puzzle pieces and you're dealing with so many different departments and so many different people, and each department and each person, they're working on their own thing, and it's just about keeping the train moving in the direction that it's supposed to be going, because it really turns from a golf cart that you're driving, you could turn it any direction you want, to a train where you can't, it's not easy to steer it.
Yeah. I can't believe you haven't watched Succession, Joe. It's really on par with what we're talking about. But so I mean, there's a point in the show where essentially it's like this $1 billion family that owns this publicly traded company, and one of the kids is trying to like take over the company. And the dad is like an old, like hard ass boomer. And at one point, he's just screaming. He's like, "I'm trying to steer a freaking tanker." Meaning he's got this huge corporate entity he has to save. And so, yeah, I mean, so with that being said, Joe, the NFTs, they're light They're airy fairy. You can take them in, you can throw them out. That's what's so appealing is that, maybe if we started doing everything a couple years into the future, like now, we might have fallen into this. I don't want to say trap, but we might have just fallen into this whole craze because it is so light, it is so flexible, and I think that's really appealing to a lot of people. It was certainly very appealing to me about dropshipping a few years ago because you can control your ad spend, you can control really everything about the business, and you can pivot if one thing isn't working. And that's really, I think, one of the major ways that we changed the dropshipping game was we took the dropshipping approach and we did make it as light and as flexible as possible. But there comes a point where the dropshipping store starts to grow to that it's not the golf cart anymore. It's not the ski-doo jet ski. I'd say right now we have like a yacht.
Wait, did you buy a jet ski?
I might soon.
Oh, I thought you
I
already
didn't buy
got
one
one.
yet.
Okay.
Huh?
I thought you already got one for some reason.
Oh no. It's on the list. 2022. Definitely
Nice.
gonna have a jet ski. But yeah, I think really as you start to have success and you actually create the asset and the asset becomes worth more and more, it's just inevitable. With the NFTs, as they become worth more and more, it really has no bearing on you. It doesn't become like a bigger burden of management.
I'm sure you can have a team that's researching and doing all this stuff. If you're a whale, as they say, if you're an NFT whale, I'm sure you can have a team, and you could be driving what'd you say, a tanker of some
Oh
kind.
yeah, in succession.
Yeah. So I'm sure it could work either way, but yeah, I think the entry point when we're talking about NFTs versus dropshipping, it just seems like a lot easy. It seems on the surface a lot easier to get into NFTs.
Yeah. No, it's easy. It's easy to get in, but again, it's a blessing and a curse
Yeah.
because you can easily get into the wrong thing, or you can get into the right thing. And so it's about how you spend your time. If you're going to commit 5 years of your life to something, I would much rather commit 5 years to online business where the skills that I'm going to acquire are going to increase exponentially versus just being in like crypto where, yeah, you can learn how to do better research and, you can get a better idea of the space, but really the impact that's going to have on your execution and your rate of success may not it's not as significant, right? Like I think you can get, for analogy's sake, I'd say with dropshipping or online business in general, like doing the blogs, doing the land stuff, even anything that we teach, after a couple years your rate of success goes up, I think, into the 90s as far as creating a profitable asset. With crypto, it's basically just speculating. I mean, so you really probably can't get beyond a 70%. You can't get beyond a 70%. And I mean, even if you look at like the big hedge funds and mutual whatever the hedge fund companies, like they have trouble even beating the stock market a lot of the time.
Yeah, people who bet
Best
for a
of the best.
living, people who make bets for a living lose bets all the time. There's nothing,
Yeah.
there's no doubt about it.
Exactly. And so, yeah, I think I would much rather do something that approaches 100% success rate and then take that money from my success and throw it into more asymmetrical bets.
Yeah, and like we're talking, about, you don't have a choice but to throw it in something.
Exactly. Yeah. Can't have it in dollars. That's for sure.
So my strategy, Mike, we've talked about this. We've talked about Dave Ramsey. My strategy is to hold zero personal debt. I'm gonna own credit cards, Dave. So hold your horses. Hold zero personal debt. Paid off rental properties. Paid off primary residence. and use that extra cash flow every month to invest aggressively. And I think when you do it that way, it actually stabilizes things. So I'm starting to buy Bitcoin now. But if I were to take a huge chunk of money and throw it into Bitcoin because I got Bitcoin fever, I could see a drastic uptick or I could see a drastic downtick. But if I invest into Bitcoin a set monthly amount every couple weeks or every month or every week, whatever, that's going to be much more even. And that's what I think. That's my strategy. It's a lot less stressful. And again, just focusing on building the cash flow, because that's something you can control, is the cash flow. Get the cash flow big, get the investments on autopilot, and take it easy.
Yeah, and through these online assets we've built, like I said, dropshipping, content sites, Kindle, land, we were able to really knock off like the initial steps of financial freedom, whether that's, paying off the house or, having enough money to where you could live pretty stably. And then once you've really lowered, your personal debt to the lowest point possible, then you could start to make as many bets as you want because the risk is extremely low.
Yeah, I think that cannot be understated. The what did you say? Oh, checking the box personal. What did you say? What's the first thing you said?
I don't know. I black out when I'm on this
Okay.
podcast. So
Whatever you said cannot be understated. Getting the personal debt, personal finance in order as much as possible, as fast as possible. And the younger you do that, I think the better off you're going to be. Because at the end of the day, what is the point of money if not to buy freedom and to buy your time back? Like there's
exactly.
literally no other point. Because it doesn't buy. Things are cool, things are nice, but they don't provide long-term mental health and happiness. If you can buy a sick Lambo or something, maybe that'll give you some sort of short-term happiness. It's going to give you a lot less happiness if you finance that Lambo and then are stuck making huge monthly payments for 10 years and then you're working a job you hate to do it. That novelty is going to wear off really quickly.
Yeah. And our cousin Jared is a big crypto zoomer. He's been in on many a shit coin. We haven't talked about NFTs, but a lot of I think the success he's had even through crypto has just been through like knowing people. Mm-hmm. And then they're just saying like, hey, like this is about to launch, and then he just gets in early because of networking. But that's not the point I want to make. The point I want to make is, so he also does like stock stock trading stuff. Again, like high risk, speculative type stuff. Mm-hmm. And so the person that is learned from, he knew personally, and he was basically telling him, there's these websites where you can go and you can trade stocks like silly stocks, like it's not real. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like fake money.
Yeah.
To like practice. What the guy said was, don't do that for too long because it's actually not going to help you because you're not emotionally attached to the outcome because it's not your money on the line. And so when your money is on the line and possibly, your well-being, you make totally different decisions. Maybe you will not hold something for as long as you need to because you're scared, or maybe, something's going down, you sell too quickly because again, you're scared of the potential of not being able to pay off any debts you have. Right. And so the point I'm getting at here is once you're able to reduce the personal debt down to zero, you can sort of make these non-emotional high risk bets. And since you're not emotional about them, your decision-making process is going to be much better and you're much more likely to have a better outcome.
Exactly. I think at the end of the day, Mike, Tony Robbins was right. It all comes back to your mindset.
Yes. It does. So
Should we get to
There
some
it
of the
is.
chats?
Let's do it. It's been
Some
going
of
on
these
for
I
how
can
long?
listen. I
Oh,
don't
I
even
think
think we
40
can.
minutes.
I don't even think we can read half of these.
Yeah. Joel D, but he did say, I'm going to skim through Joel's comments here. He said a lot of fake NFTs are out there too, which I don't understand. He said a lot of fake NFTs are out there too. And I'm saying I don't understand how that could be possible, considering it's the whole point of an NFT that it can't be faked. So I don't know. It could be fake in terms of like not being worth anything at the end, probably, but you know, fake NFTs. I don't know much about that. But yeah, it looks like a lot of conversation about some DeFi ridiculousness that I don't even know. Yeah, and he said for NFTs you need to find good projects / artists with popularity. Like Gary V has his own NFTs. Did you know that, Joe?
I did learn that yesterday. I was like jumping through all the discords, a bunch of popular NFTs. I didn't join his, but I saw it, and I was like, holy! I was like, at the end of the day, even though I'm actually, I might, I'm gonna mess around with it. I'm interested in it. Like I might mint some stuff next week, but I still think it's pretty stupid.
Yeah, I think a lot of us have yet to fully conceptualize what this looks like, and it's like it's so in its infancy. The way that it's being expressed right now, I think, is kind of stupid. It's like this little status symbol type thing. But what I do think you are going to start seeing is more and more of like actual communities. Like for example, like I think if I had to explain NFTs to like our parents or something, I would use say like the Gary V NFT example because people can inherently understand how someone that's has a name for themselves has a brand that's like inherently valuable, right? And so you could if you can own a collector's item for that brand, like you can own a collector's item of sports player, like a piece of memorabilia, it's kind of the same thing, but it's the first time you can actually digitally own something.
Well,
So,
the thing that when I say it's stupid, so like when I joined like the Apes of Space thing,
uh-huh.
um, and maybe it's because I'm not like privy to like the private channels. I don't quite understand like what. Maybe I'm missing something. So excuse me if I am, but like it doesn't really seem like the type of community that I was expecting. Like if you join our private Discord, there's people talking, there's people helping each other about different things. We're helping people in private channels. It doesn't seem like there's much actual conversation going on in these Discords. I feel like it's a lot of like
Yeah.
visual like and maybe I'm too much of a boomer. Like it just seems like visual like meme visual overload and like not very much conversation at all. And so I don't understand the community aspect of a lot of these NFTs, and I'm sure some are better than others.
Yeah, I can see it making sense if you have the community first. Like if you have like an actual organic community, but it seems like a lot of these communities are coming together for the point of doing the NFT. So it's kind of like ass backwards. Like there's no common interest. There's really nothing to hold the community together besides for the fact that everyone wants to own the NFT and I guess raise the price of it.
Yeah, it's like in game. Like I know there's some of them that revolve around like actual games. So
Yeah.
I think those make more sense because you're playing the game and the NFTs are in the game and you could be the NFT in a way or like a Pokemon, you can own the Pokemon.
Yeah. I think really, like I was saying, how this is kind of in its infancy. What we're approaching is a new digital world of ownership, right? You play World of Warcraft, you don't own anything in that game. It's all owned by Blizzard. They, like I said, you're in their world. All the money you're spending is going to them. But as we get into this metaverse, this new metaverse, right? You're going to be able to go into these spaces, whether it is like a video game or what have you, and all the items in the game, the space itself, can be owned by individual people.
I really hate Facebook. Like I really I think they're the worst company in the world. I really hope that
Yeah.
whatever happens with these NFTs and tokens and owning digital assets, I really hope Facebook isn't involved.
You ever see Ready Player One?
Yes, it's actually one of my favorite movies.
I like it a lot actually. It's a little bit cheesy, but I think
It is
it's
a little bit cheesy, but
it's okay.
I thought it was really cool. I don't know. I like it. I feel like, but you know what was
I liked
interesting
it too.
about it? What?
I liked it too. So it was really good.
It was interesting how I guess because I watched when people talk about like what's gonna happen in the future, they say like everything's gonna be like virtual. But there was like a good combination in that movie of like virtual and like real life stuff that happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Uh, okay. Buying freaking Joel. Buying land in gaming and DeFi game NFT is big money right now. Virtual land going for millions.
yeah, one of my friends was telling me about this. Yes, the guy who's gonna edit our podcast. He's asking me now.
Who's
What? Josh, the one that's gonna edit our podcast. Um, I was talking to him about this because he used to do some mining and whatever. I think he knows a decent amount about this, but he might be watching now. He says, "Can you send me an invite to the crypto server?" I'm like, "What?" People start going crazy. You start talking about this stuff.
But what was your point about the virtual land?
Oh! He was sending me this thing. How? Oh, let me find the link. There's like these websites where you can buy like fake land. It's like a map, and you can own like pieces of property that isn't real. I'm trying to find the link.
Who's what?
Hold on, let me see if I can find.
What?
Okay, like a
It's just like an NFT and it's like a fake world. You know, it's just like a fake world where there's a community around this fake world.
if you go to earth2.io, it's something like this. So
Number two.
there's like earth 2.io, and we check this out. You can buy like there's a ton of these.
I hate this shit, dude.
Yeah, if you go to buy
Oh my
land,
God.
you want to send a virtual mailer.
Honestly,
Now, if you go to buy land, like you can, there's all this. Uh, I can't even speak to this. I don't even know what's going on. But you can buy these tiles of land on this map. Like I
uh,
can't. I can't.
what? I mean, okay, okay. This is nuts.
These kids today.
That's what I'm saying. Like, like imagine trying to explain this to a 50-year-old, a 60-year-old.
So you're telling me?
I saw some. You ever see like those memes where it's like the dad walking in with the pipe? It's like a little sketch drawing. It's like, "Are you winning, son?"
No.
Oh, okay. I'll have to send you it. But yeah, I can't summarize it here. Just trying to imagine your dad walking in and say, "Are you winning, son?" And you're talking to him about how you're buying non-existent pieces of land for hundreds of dollars.
This makes no sense.
But in 5 years, who knows? This is going to be the norm.
No, I think there's very legitimate like uses for this stuff, and then I don't know. I feel like it has to come together in a way that ultimately makes sense. Or
Yeah,
maybe
I
not.
think it will. I think it will. Um, It's just going to be things that we can't even foresee, just not even in our brains. It's not in the collective consciousness of the world. Winston asks, can your dropshipping store accept crypto? Yes. I'm almost positive you can take payments in Bitcoin. It's been around for a while. And I don't know what other ones you can do it in, but if you go into your Shopify store and you go into like the payments area, I think it shows you all the different ones you can integrate. Or just search Shopify crypto payments or something. But yeah, definitely.
I actually just Googled it. I'm on Shopify's website now. Fast transactions, low processing fees, no chargebacks.
Hey.
That's interesting. Yeah, I wonder, like, how do you claim that on taxes though? Like, if you accept a payment in Bitcoin, you're supposed to claim it. Like, I was researching it this morning. Obviously, you're supposed to claim any sort of thing like that, but how can you claim something that's fluctuating in price? Like, if someone pays you a Bitcoin, what do you record that as on your balance sheet? If your return is
I don't
done in
know.
US dollars.
I don't know. But yeah, you could integrate Coinbase on here. Interesting.
Yeah. Maybe we'll slap it up there just to see, see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, Joe, imagine, get 10 Bitcoins a month.
That's true. That's true.
But I mean,
Yeah.
probably only a small fraction of people would actually pay with that.
Yeah.
David Comerford said, I put all my money in a meme coin called GM. Hopefully I get rich and not rugged. Yeah, I don't know what GM is, if that's a joke. But good luck. Aaron says, when you exit a store, is there a good tax strategy to minimize taxes? Well, that would be an answer for a tax professional. But I mean, I believe I can say that it's likely to
Don't
be
say any of
categorized.
that. Don't say anything. Listen.
Well, what I will say is, if you make $100,000 on a sale, you can spend $100,000 on something else business related,
Depending
and
on
then
how
you paid zero. You paid no taxes.
There you go. Well, I'll give you a legitimate way to help with that. Actually, this is because this isn't, this is more, I guess this is not tax advice, but this is very straightforward. Having an S corp is a great way to save money on taxes. Period. No matter what your transactions are, no matter how you're claiming stuff.
Yeah. Dan Z said, I'm investing into Bowcoin. Yeah, that's what we're getting at with this episode. We need someone to actually make the bow punks.
Yeah, if someone wants to do it for us, I'm down.
Joel said an e-com business is a good asset, can be used to leverage, can be sold 10x. Whenever someone asks me about drop shipping, I always send them over to two bald guys, Bill, that's online, most legitimate guys in the space. Thanks, Joel. But I don't know how you're able to leverage the e-com businesses as you're discussing. Because really, even e-com is so new that I think we'd have a hard time leveraging against them aside from using like Shopify Capital.
And we know a person that did that very aggressive. I'd love to talk to him today. One of our old friends.
Yeah, one of our oldest dropshipping friends who had actually left dropshipping to go do crypto. Yeah, at one point used Shopify Capital to get a bunch of money, and then I think he threw it all into crypto. And this was back in the day. This was years ago. So I hope he's doing well with that. Because I mean, if that was put into Bitcoin, 3 or 4 years ago, I mean, he'd be sitting pretty right now.
Yeah.
He said, Nairb932 said, "What are your thoughts about outsourcing skill sets to create an NFT collection to sell?" Yeah, so I mean, we talked about like buying the NFTs. You're asking about being the one to create the NFTs. Again, I think there's a lot that's outside of your control there in terms of like, because you have to. I mean, there's not as much because you're kind of in control of like how you roadmap out the NFT space, but I do think it has to actually have some sort of luck where it becomes like a cultural thing. There's no like logical way to systematically create like value with NFTs. I think we're yet to see that, and it's going to be a multi-year project that you're not guaranteed to have a return on. So yeah, you're not going to have the money for the developers if you don't have the cash flow coming in the first place, and you need dropshipping or any other online business for that cash flow.
There you have it. Well said.
Thanks. Yeah, Aaron, we'll tell you in the private chat. Yeah, he's talking about Decentraland, a game where you can buy land with coins. As stupid as I think this is, Joe, I might buy some land. I might buy some virtual land.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not I don't know, spend a little bit of money.
Whatever.
Buy
Why not?
all of New Jersey.
Why not? I'm gonna buy some stupid NFTs soon.
Yeah, I mean, I buy other stupid things. I have a stupid stuffed animal in the background.
What is that thing?
I got it off like a clothing drop that I bought. You see, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I thought it looked cool. I was getting a couple shirts from this brand Sukami. I was like, all right, well, I'll get this thing too. I didn't know it was gonna be that big, but I think it fits the set.
Is it a horse?
No, it's like a heart. It's
Uh-huh.
like the head is a heart and has like a pin going through it.
Huh. That's pretty cool. I guess.
But see, if I bought the NFT version of that, it can't be faked.
You could trade it much more easily.
Yeah, this guy actually does do NFTs as well, like collectible, stupid things. But yeah, ABZ said if you have 100 products in your high ticket store, you're gonna run Google ads for all of them. Yes. You should have 1,000 products, 2,000, 3,000, and you should be running ads on all of them. Because it doesn't take much. 10 cents, 15 cents. Start increasing bids on stuff that does well. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. How deep in are we, Joe? Okay, we're about an hour. So, and of course, our viewership is, it peaks when we're about to leave.
Yeah. 18 people just joined.
Just
19. Should we just be live all day?
I guess like a lo-fi channel.
Yeah. I mean, I could just continue what I'm doing and then just sit on here.
Can we have our editor just do like create a live channel for us, just like lo-fi clips of just us talking, but like on a live loop?
We can. He's doing other stuff right now.
No, have him drop it.
Yeah. So, but it would be on this channel probably, right?
I think it's a good way to create viewership, like lo-fi e-com talk.
So it would probably be like all of our episodes, right? Just into one.
Yeah, but like chopped, like chopped and screwed kind of.
Like with a beat.
Yeah, like a lo-fi beat, and then just like clips of
Send me an example of what you're talking about.
Okay.
I mean, look, I'm down to do that.
I sent you it the other day, the Michael Saylor thing with the jungle sounds.
No, I know that, but like, for it to be live, it has to be like a 10-hour video, like looped,
Yeah.
together. I'm down to try it. We can pop into the chat every once in a while.
Honestly, this
Oh
is why
my
we
god,
need more employees.
what's going on here?
So you
How
just
much
have
would it?
meetings.
Okay, guys, this week we're gonna drop an NFT. Go.
Yeah, that's if you're steering the tanker, how are you going to be in the hull, managing the servers, doing the dining? Like you can't. You just have to be just directing the ship, and everyone has their role, and that's what has to happen. There's no way you can't run the tanker by yourself.
Yeah, no, we do probably need. I don't know what we need. Maybe something like that in the future.
All right, well, let's call it quits here.
Yep. How
I'm
much would it?
about
So someone's talking about um, people doing hiring an NFT artist on Fiverr, and yeah. So with that said, I don't think we can continue
you're
this.
asking us. I don't know.
I'm just gonna go to Fiverr, type in NFT. I will draw your 10,000 NFT collection.
If people are interested in the BOW NFTs, then contact us if you're have any knowledge or you're in the course or what. Because Joe, I mean, if we make 1,000 NFTs, it could be you with a blanket, without a blanket, with a hat, without a hat, eating a strawberry, eating a pear.
Yeah, yeah,
A lot
yeah.
of like a super rare one, you with the blanket and a strawberry and a hat.
No, I'm looking on Fiverr. You can pay, so actually, like, you gotta get 10,000 HD avatars for $1,000, or we can drop 1,000 HD avatars for $5,000. And so, like, all right, if we were to drop,
You with hair, super rare.
maybe we could. What would we like? I feel like we'd have to have good rewards for people who are in the NFT.
Yeah, I don't know. We have a community already. We have like stuff they can get.
But I feel like
Course.
the cost of an NFT like is not what we charge for a community is much higher than like what would we like it's sorry what an NFT cost is much lower than what we charge for and give in the community.
Yeah, I don't know. We need to talk with someone that knows what they're talking about, so we can make this vision to come together. Nerd B said, "No, man, you make an NFT box with a face that's being dropped from the sky." I don't know what that means. Aaron says, "Whoever owns your NFT gets weekly calls." LMAO. Doesn't seem very passive for us.
Yeah, I mean we could do a monthly private live stream NFT only.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The merch
Private
could drop merch.
private group calls for NFT holders.
Yeah. And then so wait, if people and then people say people want to get out of the NFT. They don't want to be in the call. So they leave the NFT. They could sell their NFT, and then some of the other people get a chunk of what the sale is for, like depending on how you structure the
Well, if they
contract.
sell their NFT, yeah, they get the majority of it. I think like the way that they typically work is that the original creator gets a small percentage of every sale through history. So, it's like maybe it's like a couple percent as it goes through time, but that's forever. The person selling the NFT themselves only gets that sale once.
Yeah.
Feel me?
Yeah. I like that concept. It's like a
Yeah, or you can make an NFT pass for Bill. Matt, cool. You I believe are in our course. You said you have a dropshipping store, but your NFT collection popped off. So why don't you message us, Matt? You seem to know what you're talking about.
yeah.
You
Why
said
don't
you
we?
guys should really make a collection. I mean, listen, people know we just come on this live and we just BS, and we wanted this is like our business meeting but live.
Yeah.
So
Are you in our Discord, Matt Cool, or no? I don't know. I don't remember.
he's a
Listen,
long time.
yeah, he is. If you know, listen, if you know how to make the NFT, like
He is.
if you wanna facilitate the whole thing and work with us on it, then I'll
Matt
do
Cool
it.
was. I don't know if he left, but he was in our. He was
Yeah, he
chatting
was. He was.
as early or as late as October. So Matt, uh, we'll see where you're
Oh
at.
yeah, he's still in it. He's still in it. His
All right,
message,
Matt. Message us.
his Discord
We're
thing
going
says
down.
his Discord away message is like finding lost NFT turtles.
All right, let's do it.
All right, there we go.
What do you think? NFTs or no?
All right, so we're gonna get off this call. Matt Cool, we'll see you in the private chat, and yeah,
Well, Joe, if people want to learn how to do online business,
they don't
not
want it. They don't want
NFTs,
nah. That's
no one
out.
wants it.
It's dead.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess we'll destroy the domain. But right now, it's buildassetsonline.com/playbook. You can learn how we generate cash flow through online business to sellable assets, not NFTs, but online business stuff. And yeah, check it out. Buildassetsonline.com/playbook. Free training. No minting necessary. No Ethereum necessary. And as always, take it easy.